All right, and now we are officially recording.
Do
we have to do that all over again?
Officially, yes.
Officially.
Start all of that over again. All right, start with the shoes.
From the top.
Yeah. Let me give a quick shout.
No, please don't.
Well, first off, I'm here with Sugar Stew
Just Stu?
and
Just Josh.
Sugar.
just yeah,
You guys need a little sugar in your water. We good.
He's the sugar. I'm the cream. Baby.
Oh, okay,
Talking about-
okay. And then with that, you gotta have some cinnamon.
He's a little stirring straw.
Yeah, a little mix, just a little stirring straw.
But not like the plastic ones, or like those ones that are
Biodegradable kind.
you decide.
Eco-friendly.
the
Conscious.
turtle friendly straws.
The change starts with you.
I didn't realize that was
Kind of
such
like
a,
Smokey the
such
Bear.
a problem though either. You know.
Speaking of aquatic life, we were at one point talking about some rather unfortunate things that happened to our friends the dolphins. Last topic.
Well, last show.
Last
Yeah, we did. We got into it.
Y'all want to just dive right into that?
Well, I think we did. That was the,
It's not
Did we cover it?
Yeah, we got full scope.
I mean,
Well,
so
I
for
feel
those of
like-
you just now tuning in,
Watch
watch the
We're
last
gonna
week's
redo it.
Here's the
episode.
Here's the whole thing again.
I just didn't remember if we closed that one out properly.
I think we should just let it go.
It was about
Just
dolphins
let it
on
die.
drugs. This week we got people on Earth. You know,
Hey,
trying to make-
one thing I can't get over is like this flat Earth theory.
let's get it.
I don't mean that could probably take up like an entire show for sure. But
Let's
I was
get
like
it.
before getting over here, like it's just been stuck in my head all day. Like I saw this little reel where a guy's going into it and he's talking about this ice that they're mining in Antarctica, like they're coring out, I guess. And it's how that anytime National Geographic is around or something like that, they're taking normal ice cores, you know. But what they're really doing there the rest of the time, and this was backed up by some scientists or something, is that they're taking out this like extremely sky blue ice that's like frozen oxygen or something like that. And if it gets below, or if it gets above, I guess, minus 218 degrees Celsius, then it just, of course, melts away into nothing. But they just talking about what an amazing piece of matter it is. And apparently it's part of the, what is it, like the boundary or the wall, I guess.
Oh, the ice wall.
The firmament.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, the great ice wall of the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping the giants separated from the humans.
Yeah,
So I was
White
like, what a
Walkers.
bunch of
Yeah,
freaking
those.
crap.
They're like zombies on the other side. Yeah, we don't want them
I don't
coming
know,
over
but
here.
I was like, if I'm going to mention it, like maybe Stu's got something to say about it because he's our science
Well, they say they put the truth in the.
Right in
pudding.
front of our faces.
Yeah.
Pudding. Oh,
I mean,
I mean, the truth is like right there where you can see it. So you watch the show Game of Thrones.
and I don't know if it's like I've been brought up to believe certain things, and we've been conditioned this way. So like I can't imagine a flat Earth or anything. But I think because of the science we were taught and because of mathematics, sound mathematics, and things like that, things that I wouldn't imagine can be manipulated too much. They're proven within given axioms and things that it's impossible. You know what I mean?
it seems impossible to me, and just in a broad sense, like not knowing enough good examples off the top of my head, but there's tons of stuff that relies on the Earth being round, like
Yeah.
geostationary orbit, like satellite footprints are skewed one way or another by the way they hit the Earth. Like the reason they can't just launch one satellite and cover the whole planet is because it has a footprint based on how far away you can still orbit at a certain speed.
Right.
So you can easily get outside of that, and then all of a sudden you're not hitting everybody. But if it was flat, you could just get one shot and get everybody.
Yeah. I think it's just complete nonsense. Like
I don't really have I'm a round earther more so than flat. But I will say for them flat earthers out there, you look at any map, it's flat.
True. Yeah. So you're making that case.
I mean, for them, on their in their benefit.
I didn't think about that. I just,
Checkmate.
You know what I'm saying? You hang a map up on the wall. It's flat. You don't hang around.
But okay, to that I say globes.
A globe is.
That's a little different now. That's
yeah,
just
you used to see those all the time.
But you could wrap a map around
anymore.
anything.
Taking them away.
Yeah, they know we're on to them. Like, enough with the scam.
I mean, I heard a theory that it's like the sun, and it just kind of moves around. Like we're not really moving.
Just wiggles and it just goes off at night.
It just kind of like moves in
So
directions.
you're saying that
like,
we don't orbit the sun. You're saying that
I mean, I'm not saying
the sun's orbiting.
People say.
this is like what the flat earthers believe, and I'm trying to just give them a little benefit of the doubt.
But now, don't they have like lasers and stuff where they can actually see
They
that
got lasers.
they're
yeah.
misaligned on elevation? Like, oh, this one has to be 3 feet higher because we're trying to go around a round object here.
Right.
I mean, I will say I don't think the Earth is perfectly round. You know, you got mountains, valleys.
Well, yeah, it's elliptical. It's stretched because of gravity anyway.
It's a little oblong. You know.
Well, so I mean, what do you think? All of those people, like, why are all these countries in Antarctica then? Is it's obviously I don't think it's to protect the edge of the Earth, you know, or core.
I think Antarctica is one of those last frontiers that it's like they start letting a bunch of people and tourists. You know, they might.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're an explorer, you want to go where less people go. But what about this? If you truly believe also like in global warming, that's going to be good real estate. Like, we can't use it now, but about 10 degrees warmer.
Isn't it like majority of it ice?
No, but if it warms up a little bit, we might be.
We might be underwater if it
It'll
warms
melt.
up. It might just
Yeah,
kinda
but there's some
come
land,
right over.
there's some land
There's
underneath
some
that.
land under there somewhere.
You would think
there
so.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not all floating.
No,
ice.
that makes sense. Like I was telling Shep, I was like, my theory, I was like, I'm not real sure as far as maybe why the government has such interest in it, but I still think it has like something to do with like, I guess if you go back, like we have Greek mythology and stuff like that, and then you
Oh
have like
yeah,
the Bible and everything.
that was a good time.
And it talks
Scientists
about
hate
like
that stuff.
fallen angels and
Scientists
you know,
hate the Bible.
yeah.
We know that.
There's books, right? All this stuff's written down in a book. Just one book with all the knowledge.
You have like fallen angels and stuff like that have come to earth, you know, and they've been cast out of heaven. Well, like there's so much that goes into it, but like you have all of these Greek mythology and things like that kind of align with that, you know, that people used to worship these gods and they would mate with the, you know, with men and women,
The human
create
women.
demigods, and then you had like the Nephilim.
I mean,
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
And Earth,
may have little Nephilim
Earth
genes
originally
still
used to
around.
be Pangea, so it was all together in one, right? Well, Antarctica would have been a part of that before it split off. And then there is this Mount Olympus or whatever, the mountain range that's in Antarctica, you know, and that's supposedly where the gods live, you know.
That's
so,
not in Greece.
what?
That's not in Greece.
No.
I thought it was Was it Mount Olympus? Was that the name of it?
Yeah, it's like it's an entire mountain range. It's in Antarctica. I was like, hey, that's kind of weird.
You know, you
Yeah,
watch that
what was
show
it?
with William Shatner. I forget the name. He kind of talks
Star
about
Trek.
Now, maybe
Not Star Trek. It's that is
yeah,
a good one.
maybe I'm wrong on like one. Maybe we have somebody fact check this real quick, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's right. So,
Mount Olympus.
yeah,
Where's it
it's
at?
like a mountain range. I think it's in Antarctica.
Never mind. He's got
Okay.
Watch
yeah,
it be
we'll
called
get to Google.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, it might be called something.
I got a guy in the
little
background
off,
over here.
but I
Y'all just
think
can't
that's
see
about
him.
right.
He's
He's fact checking.
he's just ready to fact check.
We could
Mount Olympus is the highest mountain in Greece.
What? Are you sure?
Well, I'm not that sure, but I thought it originally and then backed it up with Google.
Look up one thing one time for me.
so
called
everything
all
I
right.
said.
the
was just
largest
crap.
tower in
Okay.
I think it's Chicago Chicago.
Sears Tower.
Nah,
Oh, they changed the name.
the Willis Tower.
Yeah, to the Willis Tower. What about it?
Look it up. Make sure.
Just take a look at it.
I'm
see if
pretty
it's-
sure that's the name of
Sorry,
it.
it's Olympus Range. The Olympus Range. Okay.
Yeah, I can see. I got it.
An ice-free mountain range of Victoria Land, Antarctica.
Willis Tower is still standing.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Anyways, I just said it was an odd coincidence. Okay.
It is a bit odd.
Yeah, why did they move it there when Pangea split up?
They left that one out there in Greece.
And it's not like they're going to let anybody go see it either.
Yeah, like Well, let's move it where no one can find it and do any digging.
Well, I understand.
Make sure it floats down there.
I mean, it's dangerous to go to Antarctica in the first place.
Yeah,
right?
we could talk about Admiral Byrd all day long. That man kind of discovered Antarctica. He was like the Christopher Columbus of the Antarctic.
I was like, I don't understand like why it's got to be set off, on its own, almost like it's its own Area 51, but it's shared with international.
All these countries, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a real out there theory. I didn't make this one up. I heard this one.
Which one did you make up?
Well, I've elaborated a few.
You're like,
the dolphin one was
one
not
is
me.
actually true.
The dolphin one, that
Ignore everything else I've
Let me
said.
get my guy over here to fact check.
guys, we're going to be a little off on some of these.
I mean, these are all like
use your imagination.
theoretically or
You saw
allegedly or hypothetically.
yeah, I heard, I saw somewhere. That's good enough.
Yeah.
We don't got to fact check
There's
it
just
all.
been all these sightings and stuff out there, and
I heard the
like,
Nazis had UFOs going on out there in the 40s. And there was a way they could just go from Germany, straight from Germany to Antarctica through like a portal,
there's
not
something
a portal,
to that
but like a
Alien
giant
versus
tunnel.
Predator movie. That's what you're saying.
There could be truth to that.
So why would they not use that to their advantage in the war?
Well, they tried, but they just weren't,
It only went to Antarctica.
that's the theory.
I got you. The aliens were like,
Well, they went down there and there was like a whole other civilization.
Dude, what about that death ray?
Kind of like the creatures on the end of The Legend of
that
Zelda.
was almost a thing. Like,
The
can you imagine?
The Zors.
yeah,
They're like half fish, kind of like half alien,
yeah. I'm brain farting on what that's called, but that sounds right.
something like that.
Yeah,
That's what they're saying they saw
Zora.
down there.
Yeah.
Zora.
SARS? SARS? That's a
No, not SARS.
What are you talking
These are like shrimp people.
yeah.
Shrimp
They're like
people?
mantis
Yeah.
heads or something.
They had like tail. They had like flippers in the back of their head, gills, but they could breathe maybe like in outer space or something. They were like half
Legend of Zelda.
alien.
Not like a reptilian then at all.
Well, maybe.
A little bit more like an amphibian.
Yeah. Definitely more fish than reptile.
No, I haven't even heard
But
of
that's what like Admiral Byrd
I mean,
said.
from a video game.
Like,
So.
I'm amazed.
He saw them and the Nazis were down
I'm
there.
impressed.
I mean, if that's true, we'll never know.
True. So maybe there's some link.
It's like about $400,000 to get a plane ticket to go just tour, a very guided, strict tour. You can't
I think
just
it's more a
walk
case
around.
of because it's hard to get to, it's easy to make these like claims that are
Yeah.
mysterious about it because who's gonna go check?
Well, that show with William Shatner, they said they found
guys,
like
there's no Nazis in Antarctica.
a black pyramid.
Well, look where
Prove it.
It
Area
was made of
51
onyx.
is, and that's mysterious enough, and people
True.
can get to it.
They
What's
really
that?
don't want us in there.
Yeah.
Area 51.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, there's an Area 52.
Yeah, I figured just the one that was special is the one that gets all the attention.
I'll
didn't
drop a
just start
little.
there.
I'll drop a little science.
You know, there's a 49, 48, all the way
a
down.
little science slash. This could all
Science
be made up.
/ some shit I made up.
A little elaborated science.
Okay.
So I once dated a girl that was in the Air Force. She worked on the Area 51. She worked on the stealth technology that they had. She really couldn't talk too much about it, but I managed to get a couple things out.
Okay.
She told me that technology, that cloaking device that they have, is like a paint kind of thing. But what's in the paint is not of world.
Like camouflage.
No, it's like
Camouflage
it's like
paint.
what
Alien
it's what
voice.
stops it from being picked up on radar, and it
This
didn't
is
come
paint
from
there.
the Earth. It's like
They're painting the planes that are got a
The
paint
black
coat
plane-
on them,
like
and that's
the-
what makes them not appear on radar.
It's the chemical that's in the paint.
It's from another planet.
It's on the periodic table. It's an element that's not from Earth. It's like not originally from here.
Oh, it's like an exotic element or something like
Yeah.
that. So they make them all the time where they don't exist naturally, but they can synthesize it.
Yeah.
Like it kind of defies some of the things that they should have. One that I know already is xenon hexafluoride. You can make a xenon bond with 6 fluoride molecules, which is like nothing else can do more than 4. It's really
That sounds like some Bob Lazar stuff,
yeah. They can find weird uses for these things too because they'll like be able to set off a chain reaction or something like that. Because what it'll it'll like end up with a bunch more byproducts. Like if you dissolve it, there might be some other stuff
Just
floating
make
around.
that
in there.
element up.
No, I
No,
heard
that's
about
a
it.
real thing. But it was man-made.
That was that girl on the Disney Channel. I'm pretty sure.
That's
Yeah.
Zoe.
No, yeah, Xenon.
That's iCar.
No, it's Xenon.
That's Hillary Duff you're thinking about.
No,
Yeah,
it's not Hillary.
That's
Duff.
Hillary.
No,
Oh,
that's-
that's it's Britney Spears' little sister.
It is.
That's
really?
what you're thinking of. Yeah, she was
Okay.
That's mildly serious.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that. Her.
Yeah.
We're gonna get her
We're
on
all
the
on the same
podcast
page,
next
yeah.
week, so
Okay.
tune in. We'll have
I assure you.
we'll have Millie Cyrus and her daddy.
Yeah, tune in next week.
What was her daddy's name? Joe
Billy
Cyrus?
Ray
Billy Ray.
Yeah.
Cyrus. Yeah.
Oh,
Achy breaky heart. Yeah.
Really? He sang that?
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's like the one
Good
hit
for
that I
him.
think he had.
There's some damn talent in that family.
Yeah. But okay, no. So that's I'm just kidding. Xenon. Yes, I know the element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
One of
Zoe.
the inventors of that, actually. I was there when it was fastened,
Yeah, I know well.
Read it in a book.
In a book.
which I happened to write the book as well.
Now, I learned that from my chemistry professor who treated a lake in Russia that had some toxins in
Oh, was
it.
that Lake Baikal?
I couldn't tell you, but it
Oh,
was
was
a
it because
water
it's like
source.
top secret?
I couldn't tell you because I don't remember. I
It's
could
probably
tell
Lake
you because he
Baikal.
told
Lake
all
Baikal
of
is
us.
the deepest lake in the world.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the depth of the lake. It was a water source for a lot of people.
Drinking water.
So what
Yeah.
did he use that for?
So he didn't actually use the xenon, but he used one that he had to synthesize because this water was poison. They couldn't find a way to treat it. And they were like, well, let's hire us a chemist. And he went out there and spent some time studying what was in it. And then they had tried treating it with different things, but he made one that caused such a chain reaction that he was able to, in one day, put in like 50 barrels of this chemical and treat the entire lake. And whatever it did, it turned it into something pretty inert that just settled down to the bottom of the lake.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. Yeah.
That'd be good in the oil field.
Yeah.
Settling down them cuttings.
We do the same thing
With
polymers.
precipitates. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
flocculants. and
So it
things
basically
like that.
keeps the bacteria down, makes the water drinkable.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever the reaction was caused the dangerous chemical to bond and become something not dangerous that just sank to the bottom. Kind of like how we can eat sodium chloride, but chlorine will kill you and sodium will explode.
Mhm.
But put them together and they're fine.
Got salt.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they paid him big bucks to do that. He was able to do it in like a week.
Sounds like that mad scientist from the Shark Tank. He's like, man, I got a way to separate the salt from the ocean water. He's like, I need like a gajillion dollars though.
He's like just pitching the idea, but without an actual invention.
Yeah, no, he's like, I just came up with the idea. Now y'all put it to.
Well, that's the thing.
Good idea, right?
Things like
True.
desalination plants are not a new idea or anything, but making it cost effective is what.
Yeah, that was
So-
the deal. He's like, I'm gonna need like 150 gajillion dollars.
We can make
2%.
all we need is all your guys' money.
Yeah, just
And
keep
I'll
it
get to
coming.
work. I'm gonna go home and do some digging.
And they were like, on one of these giant things out in the ocean, how much gallons of water a day? He's like, you might get a cup.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, it might make a cup of water a day.
500 gallons of diesel, and you're
Yeah,
able to
polluting
produce one
everything.
drinkable cup of water.
Oh, God.
And
I
then
saw
the
something
maintenance
in-
on them.
In
Yeah.
Dubai, they were talking about making these big sails that would catch like the dew coming off of the moisture out of the air and make it like into drinking water. I guess it's already drinkable, so
I heard
it was
they
just collecting all that on scale.
Dubai, Middle East, that they figured out like if a cloud starts forming, they send this airplane and it releases like little metal shavings, and it causes it to rain.
Oh yeah, it's like silver oxide or something like that.
Some kind of oxide. It's like a bunch of little microscopic like.
It's
shavings.
kind of like the flocculants, where it's just like there's already rain clouds and they just go seed them
Oh.
to where it's like
They'll get rain in a certain area.
yeah, it's gonna make the water form into droplets and fall versus just staying up there. I bet it has to do with something with like electronegativity, where you're applying a charge enough to them to where they draw together. Like the ones that do catch it get like a negative charge and pulled in or something like that.
You're sure about this? It's not like
No.
rain canos or something like that.
Oh, rain canos.
No. I mean, cloud seeding.
According to
is a
that
very
girl, that
big
was a
thing.
real thing, dog.
Yeah,
She
that-
was ready to I bet it all on that.
Yeah, that was
She's like, here's my house.
throwing the towel on that one.
I mean, yeah. She said, rain doesn't come from the sky. It actually comes from up out of the ground, and then it just like mists over the earth.
Well, I mean,
That's why it rains so much in Hawaii. Yeah, I remember that.
So like, they got a lot of volcanoes and a lot of water around.
That's why it's so rainy next to the tropic areas.
You're like, that's why it's always raining out in the ocean.
The
You know? It's
rain-canos.
like there's so much water because it rains all the time. It has to go somewhere. So it just
Yep.
goes out in the ocean.
Far, like if you're going to be next to one, you'd rather it be a rain cano. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. You don't want the heat
You'd rather
cano
just get a little wet.
versus burned. I wonder if the rain canos could, I'm not really going to give that much thought.
Yeah, probably better for your brain.
That was just one of those that when she said that, she was like, oh, this is it, 100%. Like
I've been
you have
waiting
to,
to drop this knowledge on
everything else has
people.
been a lie.
The
Yeah.
confidence too to just like think that up and be like, that's it.
Like, this is truth.
Yeah, like,
She was convinced.
I didn't hear it from anybody. I just know.
Yeah.
Like obviously that's the case.
She's like, I read a book. Duh.
Yeah, I've seen volcanoes and I know how rain works.
She's watching this. She knows who she is, too. We'll never let her live that one down.
Yeah,
You're reading that Mr. Gaddy's. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
How are
was
your
like,
children doing, by the way?
yeah. This dude,
pretty good.
this guy had like 4 kids in the 9th grade or something.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're doing good.
I think she's an OBGYN now, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
She literally is one of those that like takes care of you right before you're going to have a baby.
they're in good hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
about the
kind of
rain canos yet. Have they told you? She's like whispering in the baby's ear.
Don't let them tell you
Let
rain
me,
canos
let
are
me tell
real.
you before they get to you. The rain canos are out there. You just got to know where to look. Don't fall in one. Watch where you're walking.
Big brother is listening, so
Yeah.
this message was
It's
self-destructive.
like I got in here this job so I could just educate the young right out of the gate.
Hey, that's really happening. Man. That's happening in our schools right now.
Oh, yeah.
Rain canos?
No, getting infiltrated by some crazy ideas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, have you looked where the like, politicians
What's
are going into the
normalized?
libraries and like, showing you like the books that they find in there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
You know, speaking of that, I heard a theory earlier
Graphic
about
in some of them, man. I mean,
it was
just
called the
crazy.
Library of Alexandria. You ever heard of that? Apparently
No.
it burned down.
Egypt?
I'm not
Is that
sure
where
where
that
it
was?
was.
I think it's got to be somewhere around there because I think it happened like in the Persians.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they say everything got wiped out.
It was like in the early
old
days
world-
of writing before the printing press.
might have had the writings or whatever of how they made the pyramids type stuff, and it all just got like burned down. But if that's the case, then
I still
how
think
did
that goes
they,
back to fallen angels, dude. Like they talk about all of these structures, in like South America or something, and they have similar, I guess, structures, around the world or whatever, where there's similarities and things like that. But
Yeah, like the
but
Stonehenge.
they're talking
things like
about
that.
how perfect, like some of it was engineered and built and constructed that even today, like we can't even
Yeah, we
like
couldn't
recreate it with the technology we have today, like how
No way.
perfect it is,
There's no
like to
way.
the to the precision that these other like stones are.
Yeah,
You know, I
it's
saw
like
a
were these
picture.
people communicating or was it some kind of
Well, supposedly in the Bible it
Synchronicity.
says that they were like there was all one language people communicated, and they were building that the Tower of Babylon or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
a long time ago.
And
yeah.
because
But this
of
stuff
what we
is,
were
like,
capable
predates
of
our own history.
through communication
I mean, I
and
wonder
stuff,
exactly where
God
that was located.
split the peoples up, and that's why we have different languages, and
I mean,
That's all
that does
according
all
to the
sound.
Christian Bible.
Yeah, them finding all of these correlating things definitely adds to that. Like,
yeah,
if these guys were working together,
yeah.
I got one for you.
The things that they can
look up-
accomplish is insane.
I mean, I'll get my guy to do it, but he's on break. But look up on your phone and do motherboard of a computer comparison to the pyramids of Giza, and they're almost
My
identical.
brother's just gonna be like listening to this, be like, "This is so wrong." This is
They're wrong.
Oh yeah, the
Wrong.
preacher.
It's just-
I love your brother, but man, that boy, you can ask him
he just,
anything about the
like-
Bible and he knows it.
he
on
loves
it.
history too.
He's on it though.
Yeah.
You can start quoting a scripture and
He's
he's
gonna be
like,
like, "No,
"Oh, that's
that's
in
wrong."
the book
So,
of
actually-
Ezekiel or John, whatever." He knows the passage and the number. He's real smart.
I had to get him on sometime to talk about it too. But
Oh, I would like to get your brother on.
well, we could be a little bit more accurate with what we're saying. But
We're like
he'll-
spitballing
he'll-
here.
I'm like, I got this ballpark idea.
He's a smart guy.
What is just jumping around like fallen angels, right? Yes. Now look up the motherboard of a computer.
Well, no, I mean, I wanted you to see the comparison and show the viewers. I mean, they could look it up themselves, but it's like almost identical. Like where the pyramids are located is the same as a motherboard, computer, chip,
Yeah.
hard drive.
Well, this is actually, we're on a topic now that I want to touch on since
Touch it.
Josh, you're a brilliant mathematician. We all know that.
Yeah, Pythagorean.
Like, I mean, you wouldn't let
Pythagorean.
on, but everybody I know that's seen you do math is like, guy's incredible. And I've seen you do math, but not understand it, right?
Okay.
Am I wrong? Are you good at math or no?
He is good at math.
I took an interest in math, so I think I was
Very
inclined
brilliant
to be
answer.
better.
Very scholar, stoic
solid.
type answer.
I saw your math homework. I didn't understand.
Saw your straight A's.
what I was
dog.
looking at.
Can't fool
Okay.
us. You're good at
Yeah.
math.
So numbers, you know.
Book
Okay,
of
what are you getting at?
So this thing like that people find all these coincidences with numbers and shapes and geometry, like
Oh yeah,
the whole sacred geometry thing.
Like the
and stuff like that.
23 theory.
Oh yeah, like the Fibonacci sequence.
the golden ratio.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
look how all these things correlate. If you take this half again, it lines up with this. To me, it sounds like people just dazzling themselves with numbers because we describe our entire universe with shapes and numbers.
Yeah,
We're the ones who like ascribe those values to them, and then we take things and like reduce them to simpler forms and say, "Oh, look,
Yeah, like
if you scale up this triangle to twice the size, it looks like this other triangle that's half as big," and they'll like tie it all together in some way that they just blow their own mind, but it's just sound
so
like
you just think for the
A sound,
sake of our
too,
own
like on those-
comprehension that we've done it to ourselves, basically. I guess
I think so. I think it's just
we're
like
our
like
biggest,
the hype.
we're
It's
our
just more
biggest
of a
fault
hype.
there.
yeah, I think it's a lot of that. Like we're not able to quantify a lot of these things in our mind. Like I can't picture immediately what this thing's going to look like if I unfold it. But if you were to do that, then it would make sense if you were doing it the first time to make it that way. You know, like
Deliver-
ancient Egyptians are plotting out these things in the ground using shadows or triangulations or whatever. And they're like, look, it's just as long as this other building is tall.
I think
When
they
really
said
it's
the
just practical
pyramids,
and it's just math anyway.
they lined up with the stars like Orion's belt. They're like perfectly in line. How did they figure that out?
But 2 points are always
Well,
going to be in line.
Well, they lived by astrology.
Yeah, but my house right now is not aligned with Orion's belt.
It is, depends where you're looking from.
Really?
Yeah. If you could,
perspective.
I mean,
We're
Orion
talk-
could
we're
be
talking
anywhere, and from
straight
one
up.
point you're in line with it.
Yeah,
You think so? I guess everything's always moving.
Yeah, 3
Well,
points are harder.
you wouldn't believe this, but yes, that's true.
Hold on. So we're moving right now. All right, we're getting
Are
back
we
to
live right now?
We on Frisbee Earth?
Yeah. Are you sure we're not like a flat Earth that's just
It's
sailing
spinning.
through the galaxy?
Yeah. So we are moving.
We're moving.
Yeah. But okay, so to that point, they've shown where people did line up a bunch of structures with stars, and the way that they align them, like using a bunch of different points, they could see like, oh, they were using constellations to line up these buildings.
Yeah. Like, how would they have figured that out back then?
Well, and get this, they found out that some of them were off,
Oh,
and they're like, well, that's because of these little shifts that are happening. And if they take it into account, like whatever difference it was, it applies to all the ones that are off.
Hmm.
That was on the Ancient Aliens.
But I mean, how did they figure that out back then? You know, they didn't have like really any way of figuring that out.
Abacus.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Telescope.
we
They
just
had a lot of tools and things that they used for constructing these things, and engineering and mathematics. I mean, it's not like they were out there with some sticks and stones and like, working it out. You know what I mean? They were intelligent people by that time.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that different from us. Like, you read ancient writings and they don't sound dumb,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about people that constructed a lot of things and that were manipulating DNA and doing a lot of things before the flood of Noah. And, Noah's family,
There was 8 of them.
survives the flood, but I'm sure that they were knowledgeable in things,
Well, yeah, I'm sure they knew how to like tie their shoes and put on clothes and eat.
Well, we just have the benefit of seeing it all, like the built upon.
Yeah.
Like, no one person today could go and design all of the computers that exist today. They're just built up. I
You see
mean,
my boy Josh.
somebody can, but they're using what other people built and built upon.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so Alan Turing comes along, and then next thing you know, people have built, upon his, his knowledge and the foundation that he laid for computers.
Remember the Warsaw Foundation? I will bring the Warsaw Foundation upon you. I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh my God.
I was going to call and leave you a voicemail. This is the Warsaw Foundation. We're still looking for clay, and it is about to come down upon you. Release him.
It's one of the weirdest voicemails I've ever gotten in my life.
It's a true story. True story.
Yeah, just had nothing
No
to do
theories.
with that. I mean, like, you thought that I kidnapped their kid. You know what I mean? Like, this kid's hiding out, with me, and I felt like this happened more often than not. You know what I mean? It's like everybody.
So you
just
got
assumed
to go to that whole
I'm
story.
Yeah,
just-
well, hold on. What's going on?
Yeah.
No.
Tell him, because he knows Clay Golker pretty well. Oh,
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Clay Golker lives right up the
We're
road.
not doing names like that.
Let
Yeah,
me
we're
give him a
not
better
talking-
name
Yeah,
for him.
we're not trying to break up like relationships or bring
pottery.
old stuff
He knows
out.
pottery pretty well.
Pottery.
All right.
I mean, you can
Now
call.
we know.
I got a guy that can.
A guy we all know who we're talking about.
Yeah, but
But
we
I don't
can-
even know what the Warsaw Foundation was.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to find out.
I
either,
mean, he
you know what I
calls
mean?
him and he's like, "This is coming down on you." Like,
Yeah, dude starts
Big
threatening me like I've kidnapped their child. You know what I mean?
So, like, start
but
from the
he
beginning.
had,
Where
gotten, he had gotten drunk, and then
you just got a voicemail from.
so Pottery and Josh were hanging out.
Okay.
We were young. We were probably like, what, 16, 17, underage to be drinking.
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
I don't
you know,
know if it was that young.
probably
I mean, This was
18.
back at the Thornridge house, I think.
Thornridge House. So it was
Yeah.
like after high school.
Oh yeah, they
before-
were already all out of.
Yeah,
Probably 20,
I mean,
maybe 21.
We're
Yeah.
drinking age.
So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened because I wasn't involved with everything up to it. It's just like, he would just showed up, just needed a place to chill. Like I think he had
broken up
gone-
with his.
I don't know, he
with the
got
redhead.
drunk or something like that. Goes up to Midland Christian, like showers. Hadn't gone to school there in years, but like goes up there
and works
to
out.
shower in their
I know, I
showers.
can get a
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah, puts on some clothes he finds like in the lost and found in the locker room or something like that.
Barely
and
fits.
then walks, I think, from there all the way to that house on
Thornridge.
Thornridge from Midland
Yeah,
Christian.
because
Yeah, what's that, like a good
he lived
3
right by
miles?
Midland Christian.
and then was looking for like a place just to chill or hide out for like a couple of days from his
Okay.
parents and
Or
stuff.
he went to the Missouri house, didn't he?
No, he went
Oh,
to
he was
that-
still living at home.
Yeah, he was still
Yeah.
living at the house.
Gotcha.
He was working
So-
for his
So that makes sense. He didn't want to go home and get in trouble.
Yeah, so I think he was just avoiding like their phone calls and stuff like that. But then they start calling me, like they know that I'm his best friend, or and then they start threatening me.
It was
like,
his stepdad, wasn't it?
because I'm not answering them or something like that.
Yeah, his stepdad.
Yeah, it was his stepdad, dude. He
I
starts
heard the
telling me.
voicemail. though.
He was like,
It sounded like an initiation.
if you're hiding him and you know where he is,
Release him.
and you're not telling us, then the war. Something about like I'm in the war.
We
zone.
know you're
Warsaw
sheltered.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Sheltering a refugee.
It's going to rain down upon you. And I was just like, what is he talking about? Like, what is this Warsaw Foundation?
like a bunch of-
What's
like a
he
bunch of
threatening?
chess
I
players
wasn't
or
real sure
something?
what I was being threatened with, but I was under, like, it was very clear that the assumption was that I have kidnapped their child, like their adult
Yeah,
child
they think
living
you had
with
him,
them.
like, bound up,
You know,
tied
it's
up somewhere.
like I'm
hidden.
some kind of single, man cartel, that is taking.
You're Nick Cage.
Like I'm keeping him for money, for ransom.
I don't know who you are.
Like I got a funnel and I'm just
I got
like
a phone call from
force-feeding
Liam
him beer.
Neeson.
I'm just like, good luck.
I will find you.
I have a particular set of skills.
Leave the money on the porch.
It's basically what that call was, him doing that.
I will rain fire upon you.
I was just like, what?
The entire
I was like,
Warsaw.
Like I've been waiting for this.
It's like,
day
hey, bro,
my
you
whole
got to go
life.
home, man. I was like, I don't know what this is. But I was like, you got to do something. You got to call him. You got to go home. Like,
Something about Cherokee Nation's coming after.
why
Yeah,
are
he's
you
about
okay?
to send some kind of force down
Dude, I
on
had no idea. Yeah.
a bunch of Jedi.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't want to find out. either.
Yeah, it didn't sound good. The message was clear. He was pissed.
I was just like, there was just nonchalant, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, don't worry about
Yeah,
the Warsaw Nation. He's always threatening to call them
you
guys
think-
out here.
You think that
Send
foundation?
them. I'll talk to the boys.
You think that was like a real thing, or like was he just like
Every time he doesn't turn in homework or something,
Warshaw's coming?
Warsaw.
I'm not sure if he was a drinker
like
or not. I
flashbacks.
don't know. But
Bonesaw's coming.
it's just a weird phone call. I've never
let him
Warshaw's coming for you.
You just say these words to him, he'll know exactly what they mean. The Warsaw Pact is coming down upon you.
WS is on its way.
just pack your stuff up for you there, buddy. Yeah, but I think he was there for like a couple days or something. I mean,
But it was an
worked
effective
out.
scare tactic. I mean,
It was odd.
It was weird.
He
what,
showed me the
grown man,
voicemail. He's
sitting
like,
there
"You make
with
sense
some
of this?"
Like I'm googling, like what?
Yeah,
Never
we'll
heard
see.
of that in my life.
what kind of armory did they have?
Like a
Warsaw
golf, it's like a
Pact?
brand of golf ball or
What is
something.
this?
It's like a brand of like salt rocks for your fresh water. Salt.
Yeah, he was just looking around the room for something.
Yeah.
The Ascension Nation's
The
going to come down.
popcorn ceiling foundation's coming down on you.
Just let him know. I know you've been in
What a
contact.
what a weird call that was.
That was odd.
Where were you?
Well, I would think I was just at the house, and you're like, "Do you make sense of this?" And I listened to it and said, "No, but
Sounds like nonsense
Sounds
to me.
dire." It's like, good luck with that.
I was like, dude, I didn't do anything. I just existed. I was here, like, to answer the door when he showed up.
Be like,
You know
I
what
have
mean?
the
Like,
Shaw
he was
War
like, hey, man,
Foundation.
like nonchalant.
He's
Like,
just
hey,
showing
man.
us.
I was like, dude,
Warsaw
why are you wearing
Foundation.
like those clothes that don't fit you? They look like there's a grown man in
One
like
thing I can
seventh
say
grader's
about
clothes.
that
Like, it looks
individual
ridiculous.
pottery is when he would drink, it was like a week long
Yeah, straight benders.
and just like
I've never seen anybody drink like that.
he would have
Still to this
no
day.
like comprehension of where
I
he was
dated a
at
girl
or
that
what he
drank
was
like
doing.
Dude, I
I
mean,
used to drink pretty heavily.
oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's just like no contact for a week. Where you been? I got drunk for a week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh, I lost my job and I didn't pick up my kid. I'm like, okay, we'll work on us later. Do you need help?
But I mean, just like this was a guy that, like, okay, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you could pour. It didn't matter if you took every liquor you had at a party and you poured
was
it
like
into a single
Belushi.
cup. He could just take it and just drink it and like nothing. Now, 5 minutes later, he's like insta drunk. You know what I mean? And it just sloppy.
Well, that time
You know,
we did Air
but-
Duster for the back when Air Duster was a cool thing. We used to inhale.
Oh my gosh, I remember y'all doing like trying to do
Yeah.
whippets and stuff.
Not whippets. This was like to
It's
clean
getting
your
real
computer.
creative with it.
Then they put like a really nasty bitter taste in it.
Bitter gin.
Oh, y'all are the reason for that, probably.
But I'll tell you, so we were doing
Why did
this
they do
stuff.
that?
We were doing this stuff one night, and he's like, "Open up the garage, man. I got to piss."
Change of flavor.
We open up the garage, and he goes out, and it was like trying to
sugar-free?
pee, and he just fell in these bushes. And I walked out there. Where is he at? And I just see legs sticking up out of the bush, like it was something like out of a cartoon. And I was like, "You need a hand?" He's like, "Nah, I'm all right." Just legs.
Yeah, it didn't matter if it was like Everclear or whatever. I mean, he would just down it, dude. Like,
Air Duster didn't matter.
Everclear air duster. PCP, that guy can take it all.
I mean, probably,
I
He's just having a good time.
we
roommates
made
one time.
back when Vine was a thing. Remember Vine?
Oh, yeah.
So we made a Vine of him one night and had a big bag of the extra hot
dude,
Cheetos, like the
Vine.
black bag with like the three
Those are the
little
Vine.
fire things on it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can eat that whole bag." And I put it on Vine. And it's like he's eating them and we're making him laugh. He's like, "Stop." And then by like the next clip, he's just puking like straight red. It looked like Kool-Aid or
Like,
something.
it's actually kind of sad now.
His eyes were all red.
It's funny you say so because Vine was like the Wild West. Like half
Vine
of my
was so
vines
cool.
were like, I was in college at the time, so I was just taking videos of people puking. Anytime someone was doing something stupid, just like, gotcha.
It was like Snapchat, kind of.
Yeah, except everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of is it? That's basically what TikTok is now, though, right? It's like a revamp on Vine.
I mean, it is, but
I don't
it's
have
so
TikTok.
popular now that only like pretty much legitimate stuff gets brought
You
up.
could
You're
like
not gonna
start
see
a
a bunch
video
of dumb,
and stop
okay.
it. What was it, like 15 seconds? The vines.
Yeah, I think it started at like 7.
Yeah,
7
it was
seconds.
not very long.
So you could like start it right here, and then
Yeah, you
the
could
next
just
time you do
your
it,
own
you could be
editing
like in
kinda.
Hawaii. Like you got on an airplane, then finish the video like split second.
Yeah, and it's come so far since then too, because people have gotten so creative with it.
Well, Vines is gone now, right?
Yeah, but I just mean like TikTok too.
Oh yeah.
But the algorithm's so much better now. Like by the time you see something, it's probably already got thousands of views or likes.
Kind of like these videos.
Yeah,
Please
you
like,
would be
share, and
probably-
subscribe. The SugaShep Show.
Yeah, we definitely want
Thanks.
everybody hearing
Wait,
all
how
this.
is that the name? Is that what
Oh
we're
yeah,
going with?
yeah. SugaShep
We
Show.
can still change that. Like these are preliminary.
I got a
shows.
Sugar-
Yeah,
Chef
we
thing
can always
coming.
take it back.
It's
Well, you
gonna
can call
take up that
yourself
whole
that.
wall.
What about your boys? We
What?
we're not regulars.
We got the.
Oh,
y'all
what-
don't want to be sugar. So what is it?
We are. Y'all boys
okay,
ain't sugar.
I'm okay to be like
Sugar-
here most of the time, but I was like, I think Stu's in this.
Well, we got a girl coming. We got an African American coming
Anyways, enough of the name talk. Let's talk about our next guest on the SugaShep Show.
on the SugaShep Show.
Enough about all that.
What are you
Moving
gonna
forward,
show
next
us?
week we got.
Sugar.
All right, guys, tune in next time. We're
There
gonna
ain't
be.
no sugar in this. Oh yeah, there is.
I
There's a
felt
lot of
like
sugar.
maybe we should include this guy over here. A little
No
bit.
caffeine.
Well, yeah.
Are
No
you
caffeine.
Sugar?
New subject.
Sugar and Shep?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm Sugar. He's Shep.
That's right.
Don't get it. Don't get it twisted.
And your show,
Yeah, and that's the show right there.
like the big show,
Yeah, just the show.
the show. What are you gonna show? Show Mo.
Show mo.
Show Mo.
That show motion.
I will say something. If we're gonna talk names for just a quick second, your brother has a very generic name. I mean, I think that's probably like a John Smith type name.
Probably these days. It's possible.
Yeah, I think they're common names.
I mean, I think if he was going to be on here, we'd ask, "Can we reveal your?" He was also in
He's
the
like,
military.
yeah, just give me an alias and gives his real name.
He's kind of secretive. He's like,
Oh, this is easy.
he wouldn't want to have his stuff, mentioned probably.
Yeah, no
Right.
social media or anything like that.
Yeah, he's like hidden.
But I bet you he'd want to be on an episode if we.
He'd probably be on here,
Yeah, just
He-
keep it
but
around.
we'd have to do this thing right here.
What?
I'll show you.
Oh yeah.
Dude, how do you know what?
So it was about that time when I realized I needed to go into hiding. There was a couple mafia guys and the entire Warsaw nation looking for me.
I'm just lying low.
Or flying high, one of the two.
Yeah, about to drop a chipmunk album.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. We got-
Anyways, I don't know if we'd have to disguise him, kind of put him in the corner with like a mask on. He's like that, He's like, I don't want to be seen by the public's eye.
Oh, but speaking of like names that are generic,
Smog, something on him.
Yeah, put a so wrong on his face.
in college, Mom didn't believe that my friends were real because all of the New Mexicans that we were hanging out with that went to tech, their names are Bob, Matt, Tim, and then like I'm already friends with Steven, Mike. So it's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm just hanging out with Bob, Tim, Matt, Steven, Mike.
Yeah, she's
Bullshit.
like,
What are you really doing?
yeah, nice try.
Yeah, we're not buying it.
That is true. There was a lot of those
Most
names
generic
common.
names. Oh, that's funny.
Those folks in New Mexico have just given up.
I mean, with your brother's name though, it's almost celebrity because I could be like, we're having this guy on, and people would be like, oh my gosh, I watched his movies. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, like Bob's last name is Ross.
Oh yeah, like we're gonna have the rapper
We're gonna have Bob Ross on here.
Ricky
Like,
Ross.
No, a different.
Oh,
one.
Bob Ross,
But
the
a
painter.
Bob Ross, nonetheless.
I was thinking Rick Ross, but yeah, because isn't his middle name Robert Ross?
That's
Thinking of Ricky
that's what
Bobby.
Bob stands for.
Yeah, the guy with the two first names. Ricky
I remember
Bob.
Bob. Isn't his middle name
Bobby
like Robert?
Ricky. No, well, he had a middle name. What was his middle name? Ricky? Bob Ricky Ross.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lost in translation years ago.
Yeah.
sorry, I cut somebody off. I don't know where we were.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about
and
your
I'm not even
Arizona
stoned.
sweet tea.
Oh, it has a lot of sugar in that.
Oh, you SugaShep.
But they did sponsor this video, so y'all be sure and drink this. Type in SugaShep.
How'd they keep the price so low?
10%, SugaShep 10 or SugaShep 01. You'll get a
dude, you
5% discount.
Big old thing for 99 cents.
Yeah.
I love those there.
You'll get one
That's
of
a
these.
staple.
Is there really a lot of sugar in those?
22 grams. Not that bad.
Enough to perk you right up.
Oh yeah,
Plus,
I guess that's a lot, but I think a little can of Sprite has.
I just recently gave up caffeine for the old Lint.
Well, there ain't no caffeine in the
I
green
didn't
tea.
realize you were Catholic.
Well, I'm not, but I just give something up for the hell of it.
Hold on. Let's take a look at this.
I'm not, but I just
There's no caffeine in that
I
guy.
could have jumped in there,
You sure?
I mean,
jump up this bandwagon when I could.
yeah, there's no caffeine in that guy.
You know what, they used to say something about putting ginseng or something.
There's
like that?
ginseng,
Oh, okay.
which is good for the,
Was that like a root?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I guess there's not.
No,
But
there's no
normally there
caffeine.
is in tea.
not in that one, though.
Okay. They brewed it without it.
See them pretty pink flowers?
Yeah. That's how you know.
That's right.
I wasn't trying to.
It's like green tea. I don't think green tea has caffeine in it, does it?
I don't know.
I
thought
think.
so.
I think
You
they
guys
have
want one of these? I can go
decaffeinated-
get you one.
decaffeinated
No,
green
that's
tea.
all right.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
You want one of these?
Yeah, you're not gonna give me one right now, but I'll take one.
Well, I'll get you one. I'm going to get a stogie. Would you like
You
a
got them
stogie?
right here in Texas. We gonna cut.
I mean, Arizona.
I mean, I think we got
mails
a pretty
them-
good episode. We got 51 minutes.
Oh, are we going to end it at an hour?
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean, we got a little starter one, right?
Yeah, we can always
We can pick
start
back up
over.
and call it another episode or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I was like, I know
Signing
that
off
there
of
at
the
beginning of
SugaShep
it, we
show.
probably had some- I feel like there's gonna be a lot of editing in this one. So
Yeah.
All
We'll see
right.
if this ever gets posted.
okay.